energy. Essential words. Energy, energetic. What's the verb? Energy. Energetic. What is the verb?
Energize.
To energize. Energize. Something. What's me energy? Now I want to use energy in a sentence. I would say this food, energy me what?
Gives.
Gives, yeah. It gives me energy. Something. You can say workout at the gym gives me energy. Gives me energy, gives me a lot of energy. When something gives you a lot of energy, packs a punch, gives you energy.
So what was the expression? Is drains more energy?
Yeah, something drains your energy.
What is pack a punch?
Yeah, I'll tell you. So it drains. Now, what drains your energy? My energy. For example, give me something that drains your energy. What? Race class drains my energy. I go there in the morning, all bright and so energetic, and I leave the class. I want to take a picture of you guys early in the morning and then picture the three. That would be great, right? It really energizes me for the whole week. Now, packs a punch. If something packs a punch, it packs a punch. Packs a punch. It's something that gives you energy. For example, you say, well, take this. Let's say, for example, a glass of smoothie in the morning maybe packs a punch. No, not really. The coffee packs a punch for me. I don't like it really packs a punch. So if something packs a punch, it gives me some energy, right? Yeah. So energy. Let me see. Let me read the example here. So energetic, full of life. Yeah, full of life. Sam hasn't been as energetic as he usually is. There's a lot of energy in these batteries, right? Okay. Now, so this one is easy. Also, we have different forms of energy and sources of energy, right? Sources of energy could be fossil fuels, could be wind, the solar power. Oh. The next word is frail. What is frail? Frail. Frail health. Frail will. Frail will. An old man of frail health. An old man of frail health. Or with frail health. What is frail? Cat got your tongs? The frail wings of the newborn bird. Like a small bird has frail wings. Frail wings. Don't want a frail winged man. Frail wings. Chris, when you go back to Germany, do a research. How short is too short? The wings of a bird. The frail wings of a young bird. Another question for you. Everyone who's taller, necessarily taller everywhere. Frail. Frail birds. The frail wings of a bird. Yes, Javi? Javi, you missed a lot here. I look at you and like that beautiful jersey. Yeah. So, the frail wings of... one of the frailties of human beings is laziness. Frailties. Frailty and frailties. So one of the frailties of human beings is, guys, first of all remember, one of the frailties is or are? Maybe this is wrong. Is, because one of them is laziness. Now, one of the frailties of human beings here, this means weak points. Yes, one of the weak points. Like this or like this, not like. One of the weak points of human beings is laziness. So this is A. So if a little bird has frail wings, or a little child has frail muscles, or frail bones, or frail, so it's like very delicate and smooth and somehow fragile, right? But we have fragile, which is a maybe more common word. Fragile. What is fragile?
In the box.
If you put the box sticker in the box fragile, it means things may break, right? Like glassware. So we have glassware is fragile. A fragile, huh? Fragile something. That's so for fragile is breakable, easily breakable. Something that's breakable, right? A fragile heart.
Breakable.
Yeah.
Easily breaks.
Yeah. Javi, is your heart fragile?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, it is.
How many times has it been broken?
Twice.
Twice? Only twice?
Only twice.
But every time it breaks, it becomes stronger, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah. Become happier and stronger. I wonder if anything could ever break my heart anymore at this age. So it's happened so many times that you end up with a piece of stone, not a heart. So fragile is breakable, huh? Something that's, so you put the sticker fragile on a box. And refine. Now, fragile relations, fragile. And then what is a noun for fragile?
Fragility?
Yes. Like agile, agility, fragile, fragility. Javi, could you do me a favor and go get the copies from the printer? Because I don't want to stop this thing. There should be some copies from the printer. So, actually I have that thing here, so I don't have to worry about it. But worthwhile and worth. This is a good one. So the fragile things break. Glassware is fragile, fragile. Let me also get some examples for fragile, maybe some better ones, and also frail. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
So we have fragile, easily broken. Fragile bones. That's a good one. Fragile bones is a good one. So when we grow old, our bones become fragile, right? Fragile bones. Fragile health. The country's fragile economy. fragile economy, fragile health, fragility. So fragile bones, fragile health, thank you, fragility. Yeah. Old people, they usually have fragile bones. Economy could be fragile, but very weak. A fragile economy is a weak and breakable economy. Now, for example, you say thanks to sanctions, or due to sanctions, the economy of the country has become very fragile due to economic sanctions, due to multiple economic sanctions. The country's economy has become very fragile. And let me also, fragile health is a weak physical condition because of illness. The baby had become weak and fragile. And fragile health. So if I go to frail, and I want to see what examples I can get here from frail. So frail elderly people, her frail health, frail body, frail physique, mentally frail. It seemed impossible these frail goats could do something. So, yeah. Now the next word is refine. Of course, everyone knows refine? Refine? Hobby, what is refine?
Refine?
Yes.
I don't know. The oil, refine? You refine the oil?
Yes, perfect. Refining oil. Where do we refine oil? So we have crude oil, right? Crude. Remember crude or crude oil, which is petroleum
Can you
that is under the ground. So petroleum that is under the ground, what color is it? It's
Why?
black.
Black.
That's why they call it black gold. Huh?
Black gold.
That's black gold. So
can you also say virgin oil?
we have virgin olive oil.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Not that one is not virgin. Yeah, olives are virgin, and yeah, virgin olive oil. Yes, we have virgin olive oil, but not oil, that oil. So we have petroleum that is crude oil, for example, and they say the price of the crude. If you hear the price of the crude is going up or going down, it's the price of petroleum.
Nice.
Price
Going down.
say?
Crude
Crude
Crude.
going up
going up.
or going down.
It's going down.
It's going down right now? Yes. Because it's winter. Usually in the summer, because there's a lot of demand for oil. What else is the reason? Now, part of the reason for gas prices is that, well, other prices are there too. One of the major reasons for the price of oil going up or down, do you know what that is?
The OPEC.
OPEC.
OPEC. They have a limit to produce.
So I don't want to get into that because that's not really relevant, but let me tell you what. The currency behind oil is US dollar. US dollar. So if 1 barrel of oil is worth, for example, $20 now, if the value of US dollar goes up,
Okay.
the price of the barrel of oil goes down. If the value of the dollar crashes, it basically means you should pay more dollars for the same barrel of oil. That means you would see, for example, the barrel of oil becomes 26. So sometimes when the dollar is stronger, the price of a barrel of oil is cheaper. Now the things around this, there are lots of things to explain that, but usually in wintertime, that's very usual. in the winter months, you see the price of gas going down. Why? Because there's less demand. There's also the demand and supply thing, because people need less gas in the winter. There's heating gas, yes, that becomes more expensive, but basically, for example, gasoline, usually is cheaper. In the summer, the price of gasoline hits the roof because everybody wants to go out and people want to travel. So that's part of the reason. But this again, gold, oil, precious metals, and also there are other things. Because oil is also used for investment in the futures market. So when stocks are down, whenever something happens to the stock market, and the stock market is not doing fine, people usually go to precious metals and gold and oil, and things like that, the big investors. When the when the stock market is good, usually the price of these things come down because people are investing in the stock market. Usually not in even oil companies and all that, in other stocks. So there's tons of relations between the prices here. It's not very simple. Now, we got here from refining, right? So crude oil has all those petrochemicals in it. You know petrochemicals? Petrochemicals or petrochemical elements or components. Plastic. There are hundreds of, tens of, let's say at least, products made from refining petroleum. So they would put petroleum in large refineries. They refine petroleum. It comes up, things exit in different heat. So there's heat here, there's fire, and petroleum would be introduced. So it would actually, this is a refining tower in a refinery. So refinery. So this is an oil refinery. Where oil is broken down, crude oil is refined into so many different products. Petrochemical products like plastic, like many different chemical products that come from crude oil. Yeah? Like polyester, like many of our things that we wear, clothes, the plastic used in textile, so many things. They come from oil. So that's refining. You also refine your approach. I would say you should refine something, like your approach. It means you should refine it, you should improve it, you should modify it, and make it better. Make it better. So when I actually say refine, here says factories must, sorry, there's a must too, this too should be crossed out. Factories must refine oil before it can be used as fuel. They must refine it, right? Because it has a lot of impurities in it. So if you put this kind of crude oil in the gas tank of your car, will it burn? No. You need gasoline, right? You don't need crude oil. It has lots of impurities. You know impurities? It's very impure. It's not pure. You know pure? So if something is pure, it has nothing in it. It's just pure, like 100% gasoline. But if in crude oil, there's so many different elements. It's not just gasoline. It's gasoline, this. Let's take a look at some of those elements. It's good to have a quick look. So if I look at crude oil, petroleum, yeah, and it has lots of things in it. So, wow, it's used for asphalt, for pharmaceuticals, for so many things. So petrochemicals, if you get in there, it's just crazy. So let's stay away from them. Now, I need the word refined, and I want to see if give me some better examples too. For refined. Refine. That's verb. So, for example, car makers constantly refining their designs. Oil refining. If you refine your design all the time, you make it better and better. Car makers all the time refine their design. You should refine your approach to life. You should refine it. Okay. You would say, okay, this is good, but it needs some refining. You should make it a little better. Moving on. Worthwhile. Worthwhile is a very good word. Worthwhile.
What's the noun to refine?
And we also have refined. A refined version of something. Refine?
Yeah. Is it definition?
No, refining.
Refine.
Good.
Okay.
Refining.
Good.
There's no definition. Thank you for that. That was beautiful. A refinery would be a place where things is done refining. Oil refining. A refined approach. Now, this design is refined. This is a refined version of the old design. There was an old design, they refined it, so this is the refined.
Can I upgrade?
Yes. When you refine your design, you make it better and better. It's the improved version, right? Refine it. Now, worthwhile. Somebody give me a sentence with worthwhile. And worth. First of all, worth. I have talked about the word worth before, but here it's a different context. Now, the word worth itself is a very important word, and its usage is sometimes a little confusing. So, Javi, can you ask me a question with the word worth?
My words are different.
My worth are different.
No, I don't know.
What does that even mean, Javi?
Like value.
Are you playing with me? Are you
No.
toying with me? Are you
Like
teasing?
value.
Are you pulling my leg?
Like values. Values.
Values?
I don't know.
You're close though. What's the worth of something? Sucking.
Do you think it's a movie worth watching?
That was beautiful. Just say it louder and to my good ear. And I'm standing as far as I can from you so that I can hear you.
Do you think it's a movie worth watching?
Watchable?
What?
Say it again. Worth. What happened to the word worth? Do you think? No, I liked it. It was right. Say it again. Do you think the movie? What happened to worth?
Chad, do you think it's worth to watch the movie?
It's worth.
Do you think the movie is worth watching or was worth watching? Yes. That's a good. Do you think the movie was worth watching? That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Now, do you think the movie was worth watching?
Yes.
Was it?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay. So,
And that's this
I
movie?
know you is amazing.
Yeah.
You know
It's worth?
I will watch it tomorrow.
it wasn't worth it. Should I say it wasn't worth it or it doesn't worth it?
Doesn't.
Wasn't.
Who wasn't?
Wasn't.
Or it isn't worth it or it wasn't worth it? It doesn't worth it. Which one? Isn't or doesn't?
Wasn't.
Wasn't.
Doesn't.
doesn't.
Be yourself. Don't be influenced by anyone.
Doesn't.
It doesn't. So we have two people saying it doesn't.
The democracy. So 1, 2, 3 words. We won.
Isn't?
Yes.
Yeah.
We won.
Isn't worth it?
Yeah.
So 3 people saying isn't, 2 people saying doesn't. So always in democracy, 3.
Oh.
So because 3 is larger than 2, so of course, this is a very, very common mistake made by a lot of people. Something is worth, that the verb is be. To be worth.
To be more.
To be worth.
No.
And yes, to be worth. And of course, if there's a verb here, that's ing. Doing something. So Saki was quite right. It was hard to hear her, but she was right. Yeah. My heart heard you, but my ears didn't. Let's put it that way.
Your eyes.
My eyes heard you too, but my ears didn't. Have you heard this? Let's put it this way. Let's put it
This is like the verb and
this
the right.
way. Let's put it this way. When you say, how was the movie? Let's put it this way. It sucked. It means let's say it this way. Let's put it this way. Now, I went to the movie and we stood there for 3 hours. There was snowing and then, like there was this traffic and finally we got there and there were a lot of people out there. And I'm like, okay, was it worth it? Not does it or did it. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Was it worth your time and money? No.
Yes.
Was it worth the time and money? You say it wasn't worth the time. No, it wasn't. No, or yes, it was. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Was it worth your time? No, it wasn't. Was it worth your money? No, it wasn't. Was it worth it? Yes, it was. Do you think it's worth it? Yes, it is. Was it worth all the money you spent? They say something interesting. An oral contract is not worth the paper it's written on. Because an oral contract is not written on paper, right? But when they want to say an oral contract is not important at all, you should write everything. Some people believe that right is right, that you should always write something. If you talk to your employer, always write it. So they say right is right. Because this basically comes from might is right, huh? Might is right. Have you heard this expression? Might is right? Might is right? You've never heard this? Might is right? What does might here mean? Might means power. Might is right. So this one is very famous. This might is right is very famous. They say might. So might and mighty, the Almighty. A mighty wind means what? A powerful wind. So might, it also means power and willpower also. So it takes a lot of might to do something. I mean, it takes a lot of power. So a mighty decision. A mighty coach. A mighty something. It means powerful. So when you say might is right, those who are powerful are always right. Because it doesn't mean they're right. It means it's the rule of jungle. Have you heard this? The law of jungle?
Yes.
In the jungle, the more powerful animals always win. They are the ones who rule the jungle because they're more powerful. It's called the law of jungle. In the world, it has always been like this. Might is right. Might has always been like that. Might is right. Might is right. You know what that means? Might is right. Do you believe in this tweet? The might is right? That is the rule of the world.
Sad but true.
Sad but true. Might is right. Mighty. Almighty, usually if they say the Almighty means God. It means all powerful. So mighty. Mighty is adjective. The mighty Mississippi River. A mighty army. A mighty army. Powerful. Now worth. Was it worth watching? One common mistake is people asking, does it worth it? And I hear this all the time. Does it worth it? You should say, is it worth it? Is it correct? Does it? No. Now, worthwhile. We say something is worth my time. Was it worth your time? He wanted to do a worthwhile job. He decided to give the money to a worthwhile cause. Is it worthwhile doing something or to do something? Worthwhile. So an oral contract is not worth the paper it's written on. It's ironic because an oral contract is not written on paper.
Yes.
It's oral. They want to say it's not worth the paper it's written on. It means it's worth nothing. Because if somebody says, look, okay, I'll raise your salary. Okay, put it on paper. Give it to me. Sign. Put your money where your mouth is. Just sign it for me. Worthwhile. A worthwhile cause. A worthwhile project. So we have worth, and now we have worthwhile. The worthwhile project. Is it worthwhile to go to college and spend 3 years of your life in a classroom, in classes, studying books, Dewey, is it worthwhile?
Yes.
Is it worthwhile to go, or you can say going? Is it worthwhile going to college? For 3 years, maybe? 3 years of your precious life going to college? Is it worthwhile? Chris?
Mhm.
Is it worthwhile, Chris? Which one is more worthwhile, college or university?
What's the difference?
What's the difference?
I think what you learn,
I only know university.
In Germany, colleges are not very popular.
I don't know what a college is. I thought it would be the same.
No, you have sixth form college in Europe. Have you heard of sixth form college? Like after, in high school, something happens and then you go to a certain college before going to the university or something. Something like that happens.
That's usually when you do your A-level degree, huh?
Yeah. Do you have A-levels in Germany too?
Yeah.
That's a British system, so I wonder why you guys have A-levels.
8 level?
A-level. In education, like in England, for example, at the grade, what grade? They are usually grade 10. Then you have to do certain courses that are 11, let's say, grade 11. Then you have to do some A-levels in science, in math, and stuff. So you need to have a certain number of A-levels to be able to enter university. Now, A-level is advanced level. So they have a special program for people who want to go to college or university, or people who simply don't want to finish high school and go to college or university. But if you want to go to college or university, let's say, you need to do a certain number of A-levels. How many A-levels do you have to do for entering, for example, business school or law school in Germany? It depends on the course, right?
Usually this is your type of school degree. You do it you actually do it automatically, and only those people who want to become carpenter or locksmith or whatever, those are the people who usually don't do the A-level.
But they still get a diploma, right? They still get the high school diploma.
Yeah.
So it's like a high school diploma is, everyone can get a high school diploma if you complete high school. But if you want to go to university or college, you need A-levels. That is, you need to continue doing math, for example, physics, chemistry, and all those things. That's called the advanced level of that. So in high school, those who want to stop high school and say, hey, that's enough, thank you very much, I've had a good time, now I want to go work as a carpenter or as a locksmith or as an electrician, they say, okay, well, and the school says, thank you, here's your diploma. But with that diploma, they can't go to college or they can't go to university. They need to study some more, a year or two, and for do their A-levels, and then they can go.
How long it takes to finish those
Look,
courses?
we've done this topic, education. It's amazing.
We didn't have that.
Yeah.
This difference. Something
Yeah.
new. Yeah. Okay, we can come back.
Well, we'll talk about the A-level in just a bit. So worthwhile, it means something that is worth your while. It means something that is worth your time, basically. So worthwhile is worth the time already. If something is worthwhile, it's a worthwhile project, it's worth the time you spent doing it. Right? Is it worthwhile to go to college and spend 3 years of your life there? Is it worthwhile to? So here, what was the example here? It was worthwhile waiting 10 hours in line for the tickets. It was worthwhile waiting 10 hours in line for the tickets. The movie was really worth it. The movie was worth it. The movie was worth it. Is it worth it? Not does it worth it. Is it worth it? It's worthwhile to prepare for the TOEFL. It's worthwhile to prepare for the TOEFL. It is worthwhile doing something, and it is worthwhile to do something. Now, one more thing before I say goodbye to this part of the words is we have worth itself as a noun, right? Worth, worthy, is worth, is worthy. I've been looking for a worthy opponent. I've been looking for a worthy opponent. This was in a sentence, I think, Kung Fu Panda. Have you watched Kung Fu Panda? Yes. So what was his in Tai Lung? When Tai Lung, the bad tiger, comes back and sees this Kung Fu Panda, so says, "Oh, finally a worthy opponent," because he sees nobody worthy to actually fight him, a champion that's matched for him, but finally a worthy opponent. So, worthless. Something that has no worth, no value, right? Value less. If something is worthless, it is now just it is now. My first computer so I bought my first computer for $1,000. It is now collecting dust in the basement. You know, to collect dust? It is now collecting dust in the basement. Collecting dust or gathering dust. Dust is an expression. When something sits here for a long time, what happens to it? If we put one of these disks here and we'll leave this place for 2, 3, 4 days, or the computer. Dust, you know dust in the air? It collects dust. There's a lot of dust, there will be a thick layer of dust on top of this. And you go like, shh. So, it is now collecting dust in the basement. It is now a worthless piece of junk. Piece of, you can say junk, or garbage, or trash. Garbage. Trash. It is now a worthless piece of junk. So my first computer, do you guys remember the first computer you had? Well, the first computer you guys had was probably fun. The first computer I had was is now, if you look at it, is just, I remember at that time 4 gigabytes of hard for a huge computer was such a big achievement. It was like 4 gigabytes floppy disks. Have you seen a floppy disk? Do you know what it looks like? Yeah? Have you ever used one?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Floppy disk?
Because
They have nothing to do with your age.
no, when I was
Your daddy took you to the museum? You saw this?
No. Elementary school.
Yeah, in the school you have floppy disks?
Yeah.
Good. So I don't feel so freaking old, okay? Because I think like floppy disks are a thing of the past, it's just they're gone now. Like cassettes, do you guys remember magnetic tapes? Cassettes?
Yeah.
Yeah? Like
With
cassettes?
the bands.
Yeah?
And
Yeah. Did you do that? Good. Okay, I feel relieved. I don't feel that old.
It's not that old.
yeah.
Yeah.
We was born like pre-technology. Like.
Good. I don't feel that old. That feels good. But I'm talking, this is 20 years ago, 20 something years ago. You guys were 3, 4 years old, not even born, some of you, so I don't know, it's like, sucking, right? After 20 years ago, well, there were CDs, there were no magnetic tapes, so. Yeah. Okay.
But the this
The gramophone, the
The vanilla. Vanilla.
I know. Yeah, the phonograph, the phonograph, the phonograph. Gramophone, we have gramophone, and the phonograph, the records, phonograph records.
That's what I need.
Phonograph records and gramophones and all that, yeah. So,
Yeah, very good.
okay, so guys, if something is worthless, it has no value. Can I say it's invaluable?
No.
Invaluable is the opposite.
Invaluable. Hobby.
No.
Why no?
So I would say value, right? I would say it has no value, so it's valueless. It has no worth, no value, so it's worthless. It's a worthless piece of junk. Look at this now, it's a worthless piece of junk. Ah! So something is worthless.
Worthless.
Now it's invaluable. So,
Valueless.
yeah. Yeah, so it's invaluable. Can I say that?
Yeah, of course you can say that, right?
Yeah, of course I can say whatever I feel like saying. But what would it mean, invaluable? Guys, please remember, invaluable is the opposite of valueless. Invaluable means it has so much value, you cannot put a price on it. You can't put a value on it. So it means it's priceless. If something is priceless, it means tremendously valuable, right? Very valuable. Very, 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 very valuable. So thank you for your invaluable time. Thank you for sharing your invaluable time and experience with our class, Chris.
Invaluable.
I know you're... I wouldn't know how to continue this class without you, but anyways,
Yeah.
really.
Let's just stay here. I must learn more.
So you say thank you for...
For your value.
for your invaluable time, and thank you for sharing your invaluable time and experience with us. Thank you for sharing your invaluable time and experience with us.
Value.
Invaluable.
Value.
Your advice has been invaluable to us. This help was invaluable. The internet is an invaluable source of information. The internet is an invaluable source of information. It's priceless. It's also an expression. You can't put a price tag on it. You can't put a price or price tag on it. You can't put a price on it. Can you put a price on friendship? No. True friendship, can you put a price on friendship? No. True friendship is priceless. Priceless.
Priceless.
If something is priceless, it means it's so precious. You know precious?
Yeah.
So when we're talking about worthy and valuable, we say precious. For your precious, thank you for your precious time. Precious. Thank you for your precious time. Your precious advice. Thank you for the precious advice. The invaluable advice. So the advice was invaluable. So precious.
Precious. Precious.
Precious.
Precious.
Precious.
Precious.
Shh.
Precious.
No. Why? What's wrong with shit?
The S is different. Right?
Really? How?
We say E S together. It's the problem. It's
Yeah.
Precious.
But this is shit, like she.
C.
No. Shh.
She.
Yes.
Precious.
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 Perfect.
Precious.
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 You're Spanish.
Precious.
Perfect. Perfect. Now, thank you for your precious time and advice.
Precious.
Invaluable, valueless. So please remember these things. Invaluable, if something is invaluable, and it's a very good word that you can use all the time in your conversation with people. Thank you for sharing your invaluable time and experience with me. Thank you for sharing your invaluable time and experience. Thank you for your precious time. For your precious time. Okay? So thank you for your precious time watching.
Invaluable.